This is an instructional video for the tune Mairi's Wedding, 2/4 March. It starts on a low G, G grace note to low G, and then a D grace note up to low A. So it starts on okay, and right after that you play a burl, right? So it'll be you want to work on your burls, make sure you know what kind you're going to do. It's probably a good place to pause the video and practice your burls. I think that the most comfortable one that we discussed was the tap pull back, right? Sort of like a tap tap, but then you bring your finger back at the end like this. There are other ways to play a burl where you can come down from the top, slide across, and then slide back up like this. That one's not comfortable for me, but might be comfortable for you. There's also the one that I refer to as the cobra, where you curl your finger back a little bit and sort of strike the hole forward and back like this, like that. So I want you to take a moment to work on your burls, but this first phrase is okay. If we take the whole first bar, we play what we just played, we add a B after that burl. So it would go like this. I'll count it. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Once you've done bar 1 several times, you're on a B, and you're going to go D throw up to E, F doubling. Goes. Make sure you get a clear F doubling in there. That little bar, that phrase, bar 2 is 1, 2. We're holding the F because it's the quarter note. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, if you combine the first 2 bars of line 1, it's like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. If that's too fast, go ahead and slow down the video and play along with those 2 bars at a slower speed. Now that we've done the first 2 bars, let's work on the second 2 bars of line 1. You left off on an F from the end of bar 2, and the very first thing you need to play at the beginning of bar 3 is an E doubling from F. And just so you're aware, it's going to sound like this. When you're coming off the F and playing the G grace note onto that first E, right, for a little while you're going to have these 3 fingers off the chanter, right? You've left the F, you've gone up to this G, and then you land on the E, and then an F grace note on E, and that completes the doubling. So make sure you take that carefully. Let's go ahead and take the first 2 notes of bar 3 coming from the F before. It'll go 1, 2. 1, 2. That D is after the E doubling. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. The second little half of bar 3 is a D grace note to B and a D throw. So the entire third bar coming from the F that precedes it is 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, we've made it up to the end of bar 3. We're going to play bar 4. The first time through bar 4, it's F doubling, E, F doubling. And we hold that F doubling for a quarter note. It's just, excuse me. 1, 2. From E. 1, 2. Quite easy. Now let's go play the D from the bar before it. Before we go to the F doubling, we just finished a D throw. We're going to start from D. Play bar 4 from D. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So that completes line 1. Let's go ahead and play line 1 together from the beginning, which is the G grace note on low G. 1, 2. Let's do line 1 again. 1, 2. All right, line 2 has a lot of the same notes as line 1, and actually it gets you the exact same notes all the way through the middle of the 3rd bar of the 2nd line. So that really just leaves the ending phrase to worry about. The ending phrase is the last 2 bars of a part. So we're going to look at bars 7 and 8, the last 2 bars of line 2. Starts on an E doubling, a dotted E doubling, so it's going to be, excuse me. Okay, that's how it's going to sound, but let's break it down. So the bar 7 only is the E doubling, D, B doubling, E grace note to low G. Let's try that. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that was the 7th bar of the part 1, which is the first part of the ending phrase. The last part of the ending phrase is quite simple. It's just a G grace note to low A and another burl. So let's put together bars 7 and 8, which is the ending phrase. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, if that ending phrase is preceded by an F, yeah, it's the end of the bar before the 7th bar, so the end of the 6th bar. So let's try this exact same ending phrase, but starting on F. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, that is the entire first part of Mairi's wedding. You will notice that at the end of bar 4, there is a variation where you go to high A, right? It's the 2nd time through the part. So bar 4, back up on the top line, right, is that's the one time we go to the high A on the repeat. Let's go ahead and play the entire first part with repeats all the way through, being mindful of that high A in bar 4 the 2nd time through. Mairi's wedding from the beginning, part 1. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, that's the end of part 1 of the tune. Let's go to part 2. It starts on an F, G grace note to F, high A, thumb strike, grip to high A. So 3 high A's in a row. Let's go ahead and play just the first bar though, which is just the first two of the high A's. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Quite easy. Now the next note is a high A with a grip though before it. So you're on high A, you need to do a grip back up to high A. A grip is like this. Right? The guts of the grip is a low G, D grace note back to low G, back up to the note you want to be on. So what we're going to do now is play the first bar of the second part plus the grip to high A. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, that might take some time. Go ahead and rewind that if you need to, but if not, we're going to keep going in the second bar. After you've done that grip to high A, it's just a high G and then a thumb grace note F doubling. So it's is what we're adding, right? Make sure you do the thumb grace note there to that F doubling. Let's play the first two bars of the first part of line 2. The first line of part 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, the next phrase is actually bar 3, which is exactly the same as the bar 3 we did in the part 1 of the tune. It's the same. So is the next bar, bar 4. Then you go down to line 2 of the tune, and the first 2 bars are exactly the same as the line above it. Yeah? Then the ending phrase is the same as the ending phrase from part 1. So really, you're only learning 2 new bars of music for part 2 of the tune. It's the 2 we just played. So what we're going to do now is play the entire second part, yeah? And you'll notice that there is a ending phrase, the last line of the part tells you to go ahead and basically repeat the last line of part 1. But your music is written that way. So nothing will be new here except for the 2 bars we just learned with the grip to high A. Second part of Mairi's Wedding with repeats. So ready? 1, 2. At this point, you're ready to play along with the full recording of the tune. Check out the link. Have fun.